Hey, you see this? Yeah, it looks sweet. I can't wait to try it out. Hey, how you doing? Hi, fellas.
You boys ready?
Hi, guys. Can I join?
Get out of here.
Stop running. We don't
just
need
a
you.
busted con.
We don't need you.
Command
You're just a worm. Go back into the hole you came out. You're an embarrassment to the tribe.
Hello, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm playing MUXUS-FREE GRUUL Goblins in Historic Best of 3. Been feeling a little bit down on Magic Arena lately, and I think maybe Goblins can reignite that fire. It's one of my favorite tribes, but I think they get kind of a bad rap, mostly because of the big boy Muxus. It's a broken card. I don't want to play with it right now, so I kicked it to the curb, and now I'm playing a more honest version of Goblins. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to talk briefly about the deck and then hop into a few games. If you just want to see the gameplay, as usual, look in the description down below for the timestamps. It'll take you right on over to that first game. So the first column, we have a little bit of cost reduction with the Goblin Narcomancer, and then a little bit of ramp with the Skirt Prospector. Allows us to sacrifice goblins, add a little bit of red mana. Next, we have some Goblin Lords or Pseudo-Lords. Battlecry Goblin, not exactly a Lord, but it has a great pump ability to give all of our Goblins +1/+0 and haste for just 2 mana, which is insane. And then if you meet the Pact Tactics requirement, we create another 1/1 red Goblin creature token that is attacking. Goblin Chieftain, a little bit more of a traditional lord, gives other goblins we control haste and also +1/+1. And then the Bandit Lord Hobgoblin also gives other goblins +1/+1. It does have an activated ability that allows us to do damage, but it's a little bit limited, and I always find it doesn't really work the way I want it to. Next, Krenko Mob Boss is another kind of lord. It doesn't give +1/+1, but it's going to create a massive board of goblins if we get 3 or 4 goblins on the field with a Krenko out. Legion War Boss is another really cool goblin that doesn't really get a lot of praise these days, but I think it fits pretty well into this deck. At the beginning of combat on our turn, we're going to create a 1/1 red goblin creature token, and it'll get haste and must attack. Also, this has Mentor, which will put a +1/+1 counter on a creature with lesser power than the Legion War Boss. Next, Foundry Street Denizen, just a really solid 1-drop. If we get this out on turn 1, it's going to make our next turns much more threatening with our 2-drops and 3-drops. This thing can easily get in for 3 or 4 damage by turn 3. Next, Conspicuous Snoop gives a little bit more value. We can play cards off the top of our deck, and we can also hit activated abilities of the cards on the top of the deck. The ideal thing is to have a Conspicuous Snoop on the field and then have a Krenko on the top of the deck. We can tap the Snoop for the Krenko's ability and create a whole bunch of 1/1 goblins in some situations. The big reason for going GRUUL, though, of course, is Collected Company, everybody's favorite tribal card. It's got to be in the deck. You know what it does. In the land base, nothing too special other than 2 copies of Den of the Bugbear. It's going to create a 3/2 red goblin creature that attacks and gives a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Lots going on with this card. Absolutely love these new man lands. Over in the sideboard, a little bit of enchantment or artifact destruction with the Mass Vandal, technically a goblin. Then 4 copies of the Goblin Chain Whirler. This thing is just a monster. It does 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. Bring this in against maybe elves, anything that has a whole bunch of X1s, going to be great. Chandra in those grindier matchups, a little bit of removal in the form of Flame Blessed Bolt, 1 copy of Abrade, and 2 copies of Lava Coil. And then I went ahead and put in 3 copies of Clothis in those games where we just need a little bit more sustain. And in those grindier matchups, if we can get a Clothis on the field, this will just keep pinging the opponent down while they wipe away all of our goblins continuously. So that is the deck. Gonna hop into a few games and hope it turns out pretty well. See you over there. All right, GRUUL Goblins time. No Muxus found in this deck. I really wonder how that's going to go over. It's just such an absurd card that I might end up missing it. Opening hand looks okay. I really wish I had the 1-drop, but that's okay. A couple of solid 2-drops going into those awesome 3-drops if we find the 3rd land. Should be a pretty good situation. Against a Thoughtseize off the bat. Okay, well, they have a lot of good choices. I guess they take the Snoop every single time here. That's what I would be taking, sure. Do find the land, so that is pretty cool. I think we'll just put out the pathway, hide the fact that we have the land for our 3-drop, and I don't know, lead out with the Battlecry Goblin. This thing is absolutely insane. When it gets working, it can do so much damage so quickly. And just two mana for that ability. It just blows my mind how good that is. However, our opponent just played a really powerful card for not very much. Well, that sucks. Let's go out with the Legion War Boss. It is going to make a 1/1 Goblin, and that 1/1 Goblin does have to run into Hollow One, but it is what it is. Ouch. Haven't seen too many Hollow Ones being played in the format lately. Pretty awesome to see that. They are getting frisky, though, attacking in with the 4/4. Must mean they probably have one more coming down the pipeline. Another Faithless Looting. They get to discard 2 cards, decrease the cost on potentially another Hollow One to be a pretty good blocker. There it is. Hopefully they don't have another one. Oh. Now, they did shock in this Blood Crypt, making me think that they might have a Fatal Push. That would be pretty awful. All right, so what do I want to do? I could pump with the Battle Cry Goblin. That would be an okay attack. I don't hate it. I would trade with one of the Hollow Ones and then have the Goblin Chieftain to follow up. Okay, let's do that. I think I'm going to pump once. Get the requirement for the Pact Tactics. And then I will pump one more time. Oh. Alright, now that changes things. Okay, I think I still have to pump again. Get the Legion War Boss up to a 4/2, and if they want to trade with the Legion War Boss, that's okay. They might just opt to block that, sure. 4 damage through. So, the Fatal Push, I called it, I just kind of didn't listen to myself. I just went for it, but it is what it is. Okay, Graveyard Trespasser. Enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card is exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So I'm down to 5 life. Not very cool. Don't really know what I can do here. I have to attack. I have to attack with a 2/2. I'm wondering if I want to attack you with the Legion War Boss just to give this pump with the War Boss, so they do that. Yeah, okay. Try. They let it through. So that means now I am chump blocking with my Skirt Prospector and the Goblin Chieftain. But that is maybe okay. If they attack in with all 3, they will not have any blockers, and maybe I can sneak a win with this Goblin Chieftain here. Still going to be generating a... Well, I didn't consider that they might have some removal. That sucks. All right. Well, the opponent had the tools necessary. The early Hollow Ones. Oh boy. Not a whole lot I could do about that. Really surprised to see this card right here, Flame Blessed Bolt. I actually have it in this deck. It was in the deck that I originally found. I made a few changes to it, but that was one of the cards I left in just from the original creator of the deck. And then to run into it again. Most people aren't running Flame Blessed Bolt. Yeah. All right, what do I do about some Hollow Ones? Maybe I bring in the Mass Vandal and the Abrade. It does kill them. I could also bring in the Lava Coil, which is very conveniently lining up to the 4/4 power and toughness of that. Yeah, I think I do need to bring in a little bit of removal. What am I going to take out? Kind of feel like the Founder Street Denizens are not going to do a whole lot for me in this game, so I'm just going to go down all 4 of them. Try like that. Ooh, a little bit of a rough first outing for the GRUUL Goblins, but I'm confident they can bounce back. Speaking of bounce back, I had a week off last week, so I spent a lot of time just chilling out at home, watching TV and that. And my coworker recommended that I watched season 20 of Hell's Kitchen, because Hell's Kitchen is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. Do you enjoy it? I'd love to know. I hope I'm not alone in this. So my coworker, anyways, convinced me to watch this TV show, and I had a good laugh telling him that every episode seemed like the bounce back episode. That's all they kept saying. Oh, we got to bounce back. We got to bounce back. And here I am saying that. It's stuck in my head. So they now have 2 Blazing Root Wallows on the field from that very, very generous Faithless Looting. And a hollow one. A little bit unfortunate that Mass Vandal's condition is when it enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile an artifact or enchantment. It would be nice if it lined up right now, but it is not happening. So I'll throw out the Goblin Bandit Lord, but I have a feeling I am taking a tremendous amount of damage on this turn. They could just... Okay, sure. I was going to say, they could pump up the Blazing Root Wallows and attack in for a very, very clean 10 damage, but I guess that's another way to go about it. Another little bit of inconvenience for me. The Lava Coil exiles my Goblin Lord, so now I can't even get the Mass Vandal situation going. I don't know if this one's gonna work out for me. Take 10? Okay, down to 2. Oh, they have... Oh, no. I was thinking they're using all their red mana. They might not have the 2 damage, but now they'd probably have like a shock or something. Oh. Okay, well, that's interesting because now I can throw away... Let's throw away the Krenko. And not die. And then I can actually put this out and kill the hollow one. Sweet. That's fun. And now I get to make 3 1/1s. I think just gonna hold there. And as long as I don't get sniped, I think my board state is gonna look a little bit better. They don't have enough to bring out Krenko. I don't know about that attack. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's fine. It's about as fine as this situation could possibly be. Hopefully they don't have, like, another hollow one. If they have a hollow one for this last little bit of mana, I'm going to cry. What do I want to see off the top? Maybe a land? Then I can go Hobgoblin. No land. I think it's actually better to go with the Battle Cry Goblin. And then pump. And then attack in with everything. Ouch. Alright, well, very unfortunate that I don't get the benefit of the Pact tactics because I only had 5 power with that. Flame Blessed Bolt. Coming up big for the opponent. And if they're able to escape Kroxa next turn, yikes. Okay. This is fine. I think it's better to do this now. It's going to end up being more damage in the long run. Down to 1. So if they have the Kroxa, we win. If they have... Oh, come on. Come on, game. Oh. That hurts. Clawing my way back for them to top deck the Bone Crusher Giant. Ouch. I wonder if I was short 1 damage at some point in this game. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Gonna bounce back. Next one. Real shame how that last one went down. But I believe in the GRUUL Goblins. I don't think we need Muxus. I don't think we need old Daddy Crutch. Would have been nice to have a Collected Company last game. So again, no 1-drop, but I think it's fine. Hopefully hitting the 4th land by turn 4. We can go Battle Cry into Hobgoblin, into maybe Krenko, save the Collected Company. We'll see. Opponent with the very aggressive mulligan, I suppose. Hey, that's cool. I'm going to shock this in. Why not? It's going to happen eventually. So Foundry Street Denizen, loves seeing it on turn 1. Look at his wonderfully aggressive face. Opponent could have attacked there. Surprised they didn't. So I wonder what my opponent is on. You don't usually see Thraben Inspector mixed with Hollowed Fountain. Azorius mana. They are struggling on land, so this is a perfect opening. Miss the land. Doesn't matter. Opponent. Or opponent. Alright. Not how you want to win games, but sometimes you got to take those easy wins after getting top decked. Ah, man. So what? Is this humans? Is that what I'm expecting here? Do I want to bring in something like the Flame Blessed Bolt? Kind of think I do. And I think the Foundry Street Denizen is something that's going to get cut because I have a feeling they're going to have Thalias, and poor old Foundry Street Denizen, no matter how big it's going to get, it's just going to get dunked on by Thalia. I'm also going to try to bring in a couple of Chain Whirlers, go down the Narcomancers because they do reduce by 1 generic, and the Goblin Chain Whirler needs 3 red pips. Yes, that's the logic there. We'll see. We'll see what the opponent's actually on before we know if those decisions were the right decisions to make or not. Kind of having a feeling they might not be. Yikes. Big yikes. Now it's our turn to mulligan. Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep it. Yeah, sure. Get rid of a snow-covered mountain. Opponent also doing a little bit of deck shuffling over there. Hoping this conspicuous snoop, there's a word I'm going to mess up continuously. They're down to 4 again. What's going on with their deck? What's going on with our deck? Ouch. Get out of here, lands. Okay. So Treasure Vault, it is Azorius artifacts. And for some reason, this deck is just betraying our opponent. I actually was going to, and possibly am going to record a video with the Azorius control deck. Azorius artifact control, I guess you want to call it. I'm not sure. It's just Azorius artifacts playing a few control cards. Or counter spells, I guess I should say. Alright. Well, that's about as good as it's going to get, but we do have another land on top. Yeah. Kill this and attack him. Yeah, it's a really cool deck, but my friend actually also tried out the deck, and he had the same situation. He was flooding out and having a really hard time with the deck. Sure. Well, Battlecry Goblin is an okay card to have on the top of the deck. I think I'm just going to collect a company, though. The Shadow Spear plus Nettlecyst is probably just going to win the game up for them straight up. I'm not really sure if there's anything in the deck that can help me deal with what they're doing right now. I should have known it was going to be artifacts. It's just the 3-bit Inspector threw me off, which is a really good card to put in the deck with the clue. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, this is going to get counterspell. Oh, wow, it didn't get counterspelled. Oh, I definitely thought I was running into it. Wow, lots of good choices here. Let's do this. And another collected company coming down. So, what is their plan here? Are they just... You know what, I'm just going to take the 3. It's not a big deal. What is that? Is it a Doomscar? There's no way they have a Doomscar in this deck? I don't know. I don't know what to think. Whatever. We're getting free cards off the top. It's fine. Let's attack. Probably should have put it on the Goblin Chief. This is pretty nice. Still have the follow-up collected company if they do have a big wipe. Oh, they're just... math for blockers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that kind of thing. I really want to know what that card is that they foretold. I don't know. I love what the opponent's doing, but I've not seen some of the cards that they're playing. Like 3-bit Inspector and that foretold card. No idea. Oh, it wasn't. Oh, hang on a second. I didn't know this. You can actually see the Foretold card in the Exile Zone. Is that intended? Wizards, I wonder. Little, if you're ever wondering what your opponent foretold, just go check out their Exile Zone after the game. It was, in fact, a Doomscar. Well, I'm glad we won. Next one. All right, game 3 with the GRUUL MUXUS List Goblins. I love saying MUXUS List. MUXUS List. Yeah. If only I could actually say it. I feel a lot more energetic today, too. It's so nice not recording so many videos on one day. It is Sunday for me. I am relaxing. I had a really good morning. Played a little bit of Tales of Arise, which that game has really surprised me. I've been itching to play a good RPG for last couple of weeks, actually, and I've been looking at that Steam Summer Sale, just trying to find something that interests me. And after watching a couple of review videos, I finally decided that I would pull the trigger on that game. And I'm happy I did, because it has been very, very fun. So did that all morning. I finished Don't Look Up, by the way. Great movie. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend checking out that movie. You'll have a good laugh with that, I'm sure. Hey, I gotta read this a little bit better. When it enters the battlefield, if there are 20 or more instant or sorcery cards among cards in your graveyard, hand, or library, you may discard a card. If you do, seek an instant or sorcery. Well, they went and got the shock. That seems like cheating against my deck, and I'm not really a big fan of that. Okay. I think it's okay, though. It's fine. Perfect. But yeah, Don't Look Up. Very fun movie. I kind of watched it over the course of the day, a little bit here, a little bit there. But it ended up being a really funny movie. It gave me a lot of chuckles. Also, some sad parts to it. I will play with fire. Get out of here. All their 2 damage spells are lining up super well against my board. That's not cool. Hopefully this Krenko survives. Wow. Okay, gonna need a little bit of help to close out this game. And if they have another Wizard's Lightning, could be in trouble. I like what the opponent's doing, though. This Prowess creature was one that I was interested in when it first was announced for Alchemy, but I never actually played with it, and it's doing a pretty good job tearing apart my deck, I'll tell you that. All right. Well, what choice do I have? I guess I put out the other Krenko. But I'm just dead, right? There's no way they don't have like 1 damage somewhere. There, play with fire. They just attack and win. Pretty cool one. Pretty cool one. They got me all kinds of dead. This might be something to look into. I'm always interested in seeing some interesting burn stuff, and maybe that's the ticket. So I think getting rid of low level or low toughness creatures is probably going to be a pretty good idea. Bringing in the removal, maybe bring in the Chain Whirler. I don't think the Anarchomancers are going to do too much for me. I think the Legion War Boss is probably also going to just be one of those targets that's going to get eaten very, very quickly. So bring in the Chain Whirler. I don't think they're going to do too much as far as their ability other than dealing 1 damage to the opponent, but still 3/3 body with first strike is pretty valuable. I think the Colossus is going to be pretty good to just sustain if I can get it onto the field. And removal. Yeah, this is about as good as I'm going to do against what the opponent's up to right now. Imagine that, seeing some creativity on the historic ladder from Celis. Really big props to that. Not a great hand, but I think this, I'm going to take a risk on the Snoop. Stomping Grounds out first. Follow it up with a Den of the Bugbear. Yeah. Sacrificial Lamb. If it makes it, it makes it. If they have a play with fire, I'm going to be sad. Shock, of course. Okay. Well, Krenko coming out soon. feel like I kind of have to commit bodies to the field. I just got to eat through their removal. They're going to have infinite amounts of it. All right. So if they kill the Krenko, then it's going to be Den of the Bugbear. Moonrage Slash. Imagine queuing up with Muxus-less goblins, and then you find an opponent that's just playing literally all of the removal. All right, let's load up the Den of the Bugbear. It's going to eat removal as well. Here comes a play with fire. Oh, it's a Frostbite. That's 4 direct damage burn spells. But they're not on my face. I'm still at 20 life, and if I can get things going, well, we never know. Surely they're going to run out of... Surely they're going to run out of spells eventually. Like, I'm going to run out of cards to play too. Oh. Well, my collected companies are still in the deck. And the collected companies, a pretty good card to be drawing against mono red. Especially if I hit double Lord. I think that'll be pretty nice. Okay, and those are the Great Lords because they're 3/4s now. Hope you don't have a... They might have a Lava Coil, but it's sorcery speed, so they're not going to be able to do it, at least right now. They might just double play with fire, though. This is huge. They are going to double it up. Wow. Still, this Battlecry Goblin is going to be pretty good. That's 2 spells going on the Bandit Lord. It's fine. Oh. No, I was right. I had to do that once. And now I do it again. Nice. Good chunk of damage. And they're down to 3 cards. They got a lot to deal with on the board, as long as they don't have, like, a sweeper. Okay. Just gotta fight through all that removal. That insane amount of removal. I think what I have is probably okay. Let me see. 3 damage to any target. Interesting. This goes to creature or planeswalker. This goes to any target, any target, any target. So Chandra is not exactly going to be safe. However, if I get it onto the field, it'll have 5 loyalty. They'll have to put at least 2 spells on it. So it might be better to bring in the Chandra over keeping in the Goblin War Bosses. It does make more bodies, though. Maybe it's the Prospector. Just get rid of the 1 and try it like that. We'll see. Got to play a little bit of a different game here because the opponent's clearly like 20 lands and 40 direct damage spells. Okay. I'm in. Hopefully they have a creature for this Lava Coil so I can get some full value. Come on, throw out that Frenzied. Yes, there he is. And hitting the lands, so definitely going to be happening. The Chain Whirler is definitely going to be happening, and then Chandra on turn 4 is also definitely happening. Yeah. So get out Old Whirler, a little bit of damage on the face, and they probably have one of these Moonrager Slash in hand because they wouldn't have tossed it if they didn't have a couple more. Comment down below if you've seen this card before. This is definitely the first time I've ever seen this card. Didn't know it existed. Yeah. I'm going to save the Collected Company. I think going out with the Chandra is probably going to be better. They're stuck on 3 lands. They're going to have to put a lot of work into getting Chandra off the field if they want to do that. And that's good. Getting rid of a pathway. Don't need any more lands. So it feels like an all right spot to me. Sure. Knew that was coming, but 2 spells onto the Chandra better than them going on my creatures. So the play is definitely just Collected Company, and then the follow-up play is Goblin Chieftain into the Battlecry Goblin, I think. Take the lumps here. No big deal. And hopefully they don't have big removal there. Ow! Oh! Ow! Oh, my heart. Hang on, what else did I hit here? Yeah. That sucks. I guess it's my own fault for putting non-creatures in the deck. Alright. Now what? Anything I put out is dead. I'm a little demoralized after that one. That really sucked. Alright. Battlecry Goblin. I'm gonna pump it. It's gonna get shocked. Wow. Well, this is the end. This is the very, very, very sad end. I don't think this is indicative of how this deck would work. But hey, when you go up against the hard counter, at least they're not playing Anger of the Gods. I guess I should be thankful for that. What the hell is this? Obsessive Astronomer. Sure, whatever. Okay, put this out. Put this out. And then hope I can steal with the Collected Company. I'm hoping they're going to try to hit it with a play with fire. Collected Company into a Lord. Gotta hit a Lord, right? Okay, good. Yeah, we'll just go all Lords. Still, not totally safe yet. Really wish I had 1 mana open for the Bandit Lord. I could blast the Astronomer. Okay, they hit a land. Not a big deal. Okay. Okay. It's not the worst. Now, am I brave enough to actually attack in? Because they could have a shock. I think I'm okay attacking them with at least the 2 Bandit Lords. Okay. Need to fade 1 more dirty turn and then maybe hit 1 good card. Just 1 good card. What do we want to see? A Collected Company off the top would be great. Another Battlecry Goblin would be wild. Take another Lord. I'll take any. They are playing the Sweltering Suns. I didn't put them on any Anger of the Gods because of I think that might have been an early concede from the opponent, but wow, my heart can't handle that. Hey, up into Plaid. Cool. These are going pretty fast. 1 more, I think. All right, let's see if the Goblins can keep carrying me so far, getting me up into Plat. Thank you. Thank you, Goblins. Abo GMTG against Chaotic MTG. I wonder if they have a channel. I'll go search it later. We'll see. Wait. Yeah, sure. This looks fine. Looks fine to me. Haven't been using my emotes enough lately. Probably should. So we're up against Demir. Is this going to be Rogues? Thoughtseize. Snoop. Always a Snoop. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to play this for 2. I love seeing Goblin War or Legion War Boss off the top. Hold on to that. Kind of feeling like the Snoop is not long for this world, but get it out onto the field. I still don't. I cannot comprehend mainboard Essence Scatter. It still blows my mind the fact that anybody would play creature hate, like specific creature hate in historic in the main board. Just I don't understand it. I can't understand. We get neutralized, so this is fun. Okay. We broke through their barrier of counter spells. I wonder what terrible things are coming. Usually these decks just stifle the early game into some turn 5, turn 6 nonsense. Scarab God? I wonder, that would be really, really nasty. No Scarab God. But I can't, in good conscience, put out more lords, could I? I guess I can. Playing nicely into a -4/-4 languish. That's what it's called. I don't understand. All right. Well, I'm not. I don't know. Oh yeah. Oops. Didn't remember about that land. I'll be honest. Didn't even see it over in these lands over here. But yeah, Hall of the Storm Giants. That's a problem. A Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, you say. Okay, mill 2, draw a card. Well, apparently if you play GRUUL MUXUS-less goblins on the ladder, you're going to run into some interesting stuff. So they have 3 mana open. I guess the play is Goblin Chieftain. Goblin Chieftain. Attack. Win. Alright. Alright. Clothis is coming in. Chandra probably also coming in. I have to imagine they're going to be gearing up for board wipes, right? Definitely happening. Let's go down a couple of war bosses. We'll take out a couple of... I like the Foundry Street Denizens, because on turn 1, they're pretty nasty. And if they don't have any kind of early game stuff, it could get out of hand really quickly. Snoop is really good. I don't want to take out too many. Okay. Do something like that. How do I feel about the collected companies? Yeah, they're still good. Still have 12 good 3-drops to hit. Sure. Sure. Okay, a little bit sketchy. However, hitting a 3rd and 4th land would make this hand bonkers good. They do have Thoughtseize and counter spells, a little annoying, so it's very risky if we don't hit the land and we only have the Battlecry Goblin. It's not going to do much on its own. You know what? I'm feeling lucky. I'm having a lucky day. I'm feeling the luck. I think it's going to be just okay. Template Deceit to start from the opponent. They're going to scry to the top. Well, that is not a land, but it does get a little bit of discount for my Bandit Lord. Search for Azcanta, you say. I'm going to put out the Narcomancer because it gets me closer to a collected company. They are playing green as well. Okay, what is happening in this deck? And red. Okay. Gonna take my time with the Collected Company, but that is definitely going to be the plan. It's pretty wild when you think you're against like Dimir. I don't think I saw red or green in the last game in their land base. And then suddenly, boom, 2 more colors out of nowhere? What is going on? Okay, well, gotta fire it off. It might get countered, neutralized, maybe. That's what they had last time, but gotta get those cards out of their hands. Ooh, the disruption! Oh, that one hurts. It hurts so bad. Main board collected, or main phase Collected Company now to avoid counter magic, or do I just kind of run into it next turn? I'm gonna do it now. Clothis, so good. And the haste with the Goblin Chieftain, sure. I'm in full support of that. This card actually just might win the game overall. And now with the Goblin Chieftain, if they don't do anything about it, the Krenko is going to be a problem. However, the Thoughtseize is going to help. However, the Thoughtseize is shaving off a turn on that Clothy Clock. So, yay. They decide to get rid of the Collected Company. 2 cards left in hand. Well, I think I would be... Let's get rid of this. I hate it. I think I would be remiss to not jam the Mob Boss, try to get it out onto the field. A really nice swing out of all of those goblins, if it survives. It doesn't. That's fine, though. Okay, so they have so much work to do, and I'm going to keep this... No, this Azcanta can flip this turn, and they do decide to flip it. Yeah. I was hoping I could keep their graveyard clean enough with Clothis that they wouldn't be able to flip the Azcanta, but they don't have a ton of mana to take full advantage of that, so here's hoping this is not a counterspell. Here's hoping they just rely on the Azcanta. They're kind of hovering over it, like they might actually just have to activate it. Good, good, good. So they have 2 mana. As long as they don't hit something absolutely nuts here, it's going to be a Krenko, tap the Krenko, make a couple of goblins, attack in for 6, I guess. And then 2 from the Clothis will take them down to 2. 1 more turn if they can't deal with the Clothis and the board. They should be dead. That's the plan. It is a Witch's Vengeance. That's fine. That's... Okay, hang on. That land actually might change things. Because now I can just put this out. This will put that up to 3. Yeah, okay. I would love to Krenko, but this is just lethal. Alright. Cool. Pretty sweet. Hey. Muxus. We don't need you, Muxus. Gonna go to a quick wrap-up. All right, so Muxus-less GRUUL Goblins. Gotta say, I had a blast playing it, actually. I haven't had this much fun playing Magic in at least 3 or 4 weeks, I feel like. It's a great deck. It's super cool. It's playing a lot of the goblins that are super powerful. Of course, your Goblin Cry or Battle Cry Goblin is absolutely insane. I can't believe this was printed at Uncommon. I'm very thankful that it was printed at Uncommon, and I think this is the example of a card that Wizards should be working toward creating more of. I just made that last video about the economy issues, and I think a lot of that stems from the fact that so many necessary cards are being printed at Rare and Mythic right now these days. The Uncommon and Common slot are slots that shouldn't be ignored by Wizards of the Coast. They should definitely be printing very playable cards in those slots so people can build reasonable decks. You know, sure, rares are going to be necessary, but there's no reason that a deck should be made up of just like 45 rare cards, right? It's ridiculous. Print more awesome cards like the Battle Cry Goblin at Uncommon. People will love it. I think everything about this card is fantastic. Of course, it's playing your typical stuff with the Krenko and the Goblin Chieftain and the Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. I'm glad to see Bandit Lord, shining a little bit brighter than it does in the Muxus decks. I think the Muxus carries that deck so hard that this card isn't really necessary. It doesn't give haste, so it's not that important, but having 3 toughness over 2 toughness actually came up in that one game. And then I love Legion War Boss. I think this is just such a fun card, so I'm really glad I got to put it in. Mentor is such a cool mechanic. It is a mechanic that I think a lot of creature players will like, and it's always fun to put it in. The deck, I think, does need a little bit of tuning. The Goblin Narcomancer is a pretty cute idea, but I'm not really sure how beneficial it is. I have to play a little bit more with the deck to really see if this card will shine. Only having 1 copy of Script Prospector was also a little bit of a for me. I think I'd like to have 2 or 3 more copies of this card somewhere in the deck. Over in the sideboard, for the most part, it's pretty solid. I think Goblin Chainwhirler is going to be huge in some matchups. It didn't really show up too much in those 4 games that I played, but I think it's still a great card to have in the deck. Colossus, of course, being an all-star, all the time want to put Colossus in every GRUUL deck that I make. Mass Vandal was a little disappointed with this card. It didn't work as I intended it to. It is cool that it is a goblin, but maybe it might be better just to have real artifact and enchantment removal in the sideboard rather than this kind of cute removal. Anyways, overall, play this if you want to have some fun and you love goblins, but you don't want to play Muxus because it's kind of a try-hard card, because that's absolutely what it is. Hey, and if you want to win, I bet Muxus would slot really well into this deck. Just take out 4 collected companies, put in 4 Muxus, and you'll do just fine, right? Anyways, that's it for this video. Take care for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.